Hi and welcome to a Khan Academy tutorial. We are doing GCF factoring, an introduction to this concept. First question, which expression is a result of factoring the expression below by taking out its greatest common factor? So we have 12x squared plus 8. Now we have a couple choices here. As you can see, there's only one variable between these two. If I can grab my scratch pad here. Okay, I'm using my finger this time, no Apple Pencil. So we have only one variable, we have x squared, but you can see that we have a coefficients in front, okay, two numbers. So we're going to think, what is the greatest common factor between 12 and 8? What number can be multiplied by something to get into 12? Okay, some number, and then that same number is also a factor of 8. So we have some number, also a factor of 8. Okay, so what is that number? Well, that number is 4. We have a couple different options. You can see that 2 is also a factor of 12 and 8, but we're looking for the greatest common factor. That's what the G stands for. The greatest stands for the largest. Okay, so the largest number that is a factor of both 12 and 8, and that's 4, because 3 times 4 is 12, and then 2 times 4 is 8. So we're looking to take out a 4. Now, what happens when we take out the 4? Well, we factor out a GCF and what's left inside. In order to figure out what's left inside, we're going to take these two terms and we're going to divide by our GCF. 12x squared divided by 4. Okay, that's our GCF. Plus, the sign stays the same. Okay, if that's a plus, then that's going to stay a plus. 8 divided by our greatest common factor, 4. So we can write that result here. 12x squared divided by 4 is 3x squared, and then 8 divided by 4 is 2. So we're going to look for 4 times quantity, 3x squared plus 2, and that is here. And that's all we do, okay? That is how you factor out the GCF. Factoring is going in the reverse of distributing. To distribute, we multiply, okay? So when we distribute, just a quick example, when we distribute, purple, we multiply 2 times x plus 1. We multiply 2x plus 2. So if we're going to factor, we have to go in reverse. We divide. We divide by the GCF. Divide by the GCF to factor. Okay. Let's move on to the next example. Avery was trying to factor 4x squared plus 20x minus 14. She found that the greatest common factor of these terms was 4 and made an area model. Okay, very clever, very clever. What is the width of Avery's area model? Okay, so what we need to do here is an area model is always talking about simply doing multiplication. It's just a way of them to be clever in regard to how do we divide. Okay, so what we're saying here is this is the starting thing. Okay, this is the starting term, and we're just going to divide by the GCF. So this is our GCF, and we're going to put the result of dividing by GCF here. Okay, so we're going to put. Essentially, we're saying, okay, we're going to factor out the 4, and then what's left when we take out this? Well, we need to take each term, 4x squared, divide by 4. 4x squared, divide by 4, and that will go here. Then we're going to do 20x divided by 4, and that will go here in the middle. And then we take negative 16, sorry, I ran out of space, so I'm going here, divided by 4, and that will go here. Let's start with the purple. 4x squared divided by 4 just gives me x squared. 20x divided by 4 gives me 5x, and it's positive. And the last one's negative, so negative 16 divided by 4 is minus 4. So my answer is going to be, okay, if I multiply these two things, I get my area. My length times my width. This is my, I guess that's my length. Times my width, this is going to be my width in the parentheses, is going to be equal to my area. Okay, that's what I started with. You divide, okay? That's what it's talking about. You factor. So I need to type in x squared plus 5x minus 4. So I do x squared plus 5x minus 4. Double check. Yes, punch it. All right, next question. Okay, another one. Looks like here we do not have an x in each term. In order to factor out an x, there has to be an x in each term. But there is a factor of 4 in each term. Okay, so we can factor out of 4. We're going to factor out the 4 from this, and what's left over? We're going to do 4x squared divided by 4. We get x squared. I'm doing this in my head now just to show you the process. 16x divided by our greatest common factor of 4. We get 4x. And then negative 4 divided by 4, we get minus 1. So we're going to look for the greatest common factor of 4. Now, technically 2 is a factor, but it's not the greatest factor. It's not the largest factor. 4 is the largest factor. And we can't factor out an x, so that's what makes that one bad, and that one. So our answer is going to be B. All right, last one. Okay, same thing. We're just factoring this whole thing. This is what we're factoring, and it already gives us our GCF, which is 5. So don't be confused by this width and area thing. It's just saying this is what we start with, and we're factoring out the 5. So we're going to do 10x squared. We're factoring out the 5. We're going to do 10x squared divided by 5 gives us 2x squared. Negative 5x divided by 5 gives us negative 1x, or just negative x. And then 15 divided by 5 gives us positive 3. And that's all we have. So we have 5 times the quantity. Well, we're not writing the 5, okay? We're not writing this. We're just writing the width, which is this, okay? The big thing divided by the 5 gives us our width. So we were just going to write 2x squared minus x, 2x squared minus x plus 3. And that's going to be our final answer. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and join us next time if you want more practice on Khan Academy or more help.